Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. This is another reaction to Walter's World, actually. This is my second reaction to his channel today. I'm posting 2 videos of his today, so I mean, it's actually worth subscribing to, because I'm watching a lot of his videos. But yeah, I remember I mentioned it in the video I just did. I did a reaction to him before, and that was one of my most viewed videos. And I did find it very interesting, but you all seem to really enjoy it. And I was just scrolling through his channel, and I did one on Mexico just now, and I'm now obviously doing the US one. And this one is, the title is Visit USA, 10 Culture Shocks Foreign Tourists Have When They Visit the US or Visit America. And I mean, yeah, another interesting video. Now with the lockdown over, travelling hopefully going to be done within like a year or so. Like, yeah, I'm excited for things that can happen, but this would be a video that could sort of teach me or show me things that are different that I maybe would find as a culture shock, like the title says. But yeah, sorry, I can't speak at the moment as per usual, but I'm so tired. I've just got back from the gym and I'm exhausted. What is going on? Let's just get into this. Quick shout out to my Instagram, my Twitter, links in the description for those. Same for my Patreon, links all there for those interested. But let's get into this one now.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World. Today we're in Springfield, USA. Yes, the home of the Simpsons. Well, actually, not the actual home of the Simpsons. There's actually about 20 or 30 Springfields throughout the U.S. This just happens to be...
What? 35 states in the USA have a town, city, or a township that is called Springfield, or derivative of Springfield. So it can be anywhere, hence why they call it Springfield in the show. What? What the
Springfield,
fuck?
Illinois. And today,
what is it, the US and Springfield?
we have for you are 10 things that are going to shock you about when you come to the U.S. Because there are things that do shock people when they come here. You know, how many flags are flying all around every single city, and how many Starbucks and McDonald's are in every single city. And
I would be interested in that. I know, like, the people from the US, a lot of people from the US are very, like, sort of proud and, like, flying their flags, etc. But compared to the UK, I rarely see a flag. So as opposed to the UK, I would be really interested when I do travel to see what it's like with the flags about. I assume there's loads, right? People being proud of their country, etc. But that would be an interesting thing. It's a small little detail to be like a culture shock, but it would be different to what I'm used to, right?
And the Americans actually eat cheese that's in a can that they...
I've never understood this, bro. I've never understood this. My body would not accept this anyway, because I cannot eat cheese without, you know what. But this doesn't even look nice.
They spray in their mouth? What the heck is that? Or look, no need to refrigerate.
What? You don't refrigerate? Oh, the preservatives in that. Oh my god.
Oh, and I'm not even talking about the politics of the U.S., which is also a shocking kind of
You know he spat that out as soon as the
thing.
camera ended.
Today we're going to focus on our 10 things that shock foreign tourists when they come to the U.S. So let's get started, okay? All right, so the first thing that's going to shock you when you come to the U.S. are the sizes of the U.S. Now, when I talk about the sizes of the U.S., I mean the actual size of the U.S. This country is huge. I mean, it's the size of a continent, okay, when you want to get around. But also the sizes of the food you get here, the portion sizes, free refills. Oh, my God, it's soda without end. But also the size of the people. And that's why I really kind of focus on the size of the U.S. as that first kind of shock. Because I'll meet tourists that are coming to the U.S. and they're like, oh, I'm going to fly into New York, just rent a car in New York, drive down to Miami, and then drive over to Las Vegas to do some gambling. That shouldn't take so long. I mean, it's all in the same country.
It's not possible, man.
The U.S. is huge.
That would have been me. Before I got into these videos, that would have been, that person he's explaining would have been me,
that
man.
Drive from New York City to down in Miami is going to take you 18 hours straight of driving. That means no potty breaks, no getting food, no getting gas, 18 hours straight. Oh, no, of course, no construction, no traffic jams, nothing like that. I mean, it's literally, 1,300 miles or about 2,000 kilometers just from New York to the tip of Florida. And then if you want to go from Florida to Las Vegas, well, that's another 4,000 kilometers. And it is huge distances when you are traveling the U.S. And that does surprise people when they realize this, wow, this is a lot bigger than traveling around Germany. Well, yeah, Germany, you can take the train around and see everything. Here in the U.S., you just really can't do that. The distances are just too big. And of course, with those sizes, I said the portion sizes here. One of the things I love to see is when people realize that we have free refills in the US. If you're getting soda, not in a can, but a fountain soda, when they pour the soda for you, if you go to a restaurant, most of the time your Coke, your Pepsi, your Mountain Dew, which has super caffeine stuff, your Dr. Pepper, or root beer, which foreigners tend to hate, but we Americans love, it's free.
My friend was obsessed with root beer. I've never actually had it, but I remember my friend was obsessed with it when I was in school. There was like a shop, like a supermarket. We went to it once, and he saw it, and every time for the next 2 weeks, he'd always, whenever we'd go, he'd always be looking for the root
Free
beer.
refills. You just get more and more and more. So you only pay
Isn't it
once, and
malt?
you get all the soda you ever
Malt? Is it malt? Malt root beer? I
want.
don't know.
Sadly, that free refill stuff doesn't count for alcohol. Dang it. But the thing is that free refills, but also the portion sizes here in the US kind of explain some of these things, because you'll see is when you're going to get your McDonald's or whatever in Germany, you get the large there, okay? The large is a half liter. Well, the large in Europe is just a medium here, because here you can get literally larges that are like this big. It is insane, the portion sizes. And when you go to the restaurants, sometimes you'll think, man, there's enough on one plate to feed 2 people. Yes, there probably is. So just know when you're coming to the US, you might pack on a few pounds or kilos or stones, whatever, whatever measurement you want to use, because there is a lot of really big portion sizes, but there are a lot of really good food around here in the US. No, it's not just McDonald's. We go to other places too. And then the third of those size things are the size of the people. Yes, there are a lot of husky, as I like to call myself, husky, fluffy Americans. Yes, we do eat a lot, and no, we don't go around a lot. We're driving a lot and things like that, and so you will see a lot of big people here.
Thing is, I feel like the UK is probably similar to the US with that. I feel like the UK is the fastest growing country with like obesity or whatever, and in Europe it's like the number, like the highest obesity rates percentage of people. I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say though. So that probably would be, from someone from the UK, wouldn't be as much of a culture shock. But again, maybe I don't actually fully understand. But that's definitely an interesting one. That is pointing that out as a thing that people say. It's kind of messed up that that's what sort of tourists sort of say though. Like they just sort of find it weird. But at the same time, I guess it may just be something that sort of you wouldn't expect.
But the thing is, not every American is a big fat slob like me, okay? There's all kinds of shapes and sizes of Americans that you are here. So don't just think every American just goes to McDonald's and gets fattened up. That's just me, okay? So just know that the size of the US will shock you when you look at those things, all right? Now, the second thing that's gonna shock you when you come here has to do with those people. It is the people. Look, there's this rumor that, Americans are just fake friendly. No, Americans really are super friendly. No matter where you go, people will try to help you. They'll show you around. They'll say, hey, which restaurants should you go to in this town? What site should we see? Hey, I'm lost. Could you help me find the highway? People are really nice from the US, and at different parts. You go to Minnesota, they're insanely friendly. In the South, they're insanely friendly. And that's one thing is people need to understand is the US, we do help each other out. We do ask you, hey, how are you? Hey, how's it going? How can I help you? These are normal things. And that service kind of scares tourists when they come. They're like, I just walked in the store and they're asking me, how can they help? I don't even know what your store has yet. How can you help me when I don't even know what you have? Look, just know that in the US, we're all about service. We're going to ask you right away, what can you get? What do you need to drink? What do you want to order? Can I help you with your clothes? What are you looking for? That is just how we work here. Another thing is when you look at the US, you're gonna have a big mix of people here. There's no one American. You always have these stereotypes of this or this or this of Americans. Look,
America!
Americans come in all shapes, all
Oh, there's definitely people like that. And I love it. I just love seeing it. I remember, what was it? I remember seeing it somewhere, but I can't remember where I saw it, and it just made me laugh so much, and I loved just seeing it. Where was it? It's probably in a video I've reacted to.
sizes, all religions, all colors, all creeds, all hairnesses. Because honestly, the only fake stuff you see in the US are the artificial colorings. Like you're gonna see like the Fantas and the sodas and the cereals. You're like, wow, those colors like glow in the dark. Yes, the artificial coloring thing here, that's the fakeness of the US. The friendliness of the people, that's not fake. They're awesome. So we're in Las Vegas now, and the third thing that's gonna shock you when you come to the US is ID, please. I need some identification.
I've actually noticed though, I'm not gonna lie, this happens a lot in the UK as well. Definitely does happen a lot. I mean, my mum gets ID'd and she's been ID'd sometimes and she's 50. She's 50. I obviously get ID'd and I mean, I can legally buy alcohol in the UK, but I don't have an ID, so I can't buy it, which is painful. It's pain, pure pain. So I mean, yeah, it's actually kind of similar. I used to think it was a lot different, but I think the ID thing is a thing that happens a lot in the UK as well.
Please. The
Well,
fact
it
that
is- it
people
does
have
happen
to
a lot.
have an ID to buy liquor and buy cigarettes in the U.S. Because in the U.S. you have to be 21 to buy alcohol and 18 to buy cigarettes, and basically you have to look like you're 40 to actually buy them without them asking for your ID. So make sure you keep your passport with you, so if you're going to buy stuff, you have that. And it's not just you, the person buying it, the people with you, they might need an ID too. All right, we've left the desert of Vegas. Now we're here on the coast here in Florida.
Oh my days, he's been every... Bro, this guy just travels
And the
for
fourth
days.
thing that's going to shock you when you come to the U.S. is the price is never actually what you pay in the
Yep.
U.S. Now, in
Tax,
Europe and other countries,
VAT.
you already have this VAT, value-added tax, that's already put into the price. Here in the U.S., we have what we call sales tax, which is added on after you buy the product. So if you go to a McDonald's and you say, oh, I'm going to get a hamburger on the dollar menu, I've got $1, I should be able to buy it. No, that $1, then you got to put the tax on top of it. It can be anywhere from, 7 to 15%. Some states have it,
Oh,
some
man.
states don't. It can vary
Some
between
states
locations.
don't.
So that $1 cheeseburger or hamburger can actually cost you $1.10. It gets really frustrating when you think about it, because it's not just sales tax that gets added onto a price. If you go out to a restaurant, you also have tipping. And tipping in the U.S. is traditionally between 15 and 20% at a sit-down restaurant. So think about it. You go to a sit-down restaurant, right? So you got a $100 bill. Okay, I got a $100 bill in my hand, and the bill for the meal is $100. I should be fine. Oh no. That $100, well, you got to add on another 10%
Oh, my
because
days.
of, well, taxes, right? And
Tax,
sales
yeah.
tax, and then another 15% on top of that for tipping. So now your $100 bill for a dinner is actually $125.
Jeez.
And I know people might not agree with tipping, but that's how it works in the U.S.
No,
You're
no,
not
I-
paid a great wage.
I don't know how people couldn't agree with tipping. I think it's the best thing you can do, because it's a hard job, isn't it, man? I remember I used to work in a restaurant, or I worked in McDonald's, and it's just stressful, man. It's stressful as
But they
hell.
make a lot more money on tips, and that's why you get this good service we kind of talk about sometimes. That's where that comes from. Now, the fifth thing we have that shocks people is when you come here, you think, oh, the U.S. is so developed, they've got all this stuff here, they must have good public transportation.
Nope. No, I've learned this as
Good
well.
and public transportation in the U.S. do not go together. Yes, there are some cities that have decent public transportations. Chicago, New York, Boston, big cities, you probably can get some decent public transportation within the city. But a lot of places out there, there's either no public transportation or very limited transportation, or public transportation that a tourist would not want to ride on. I would say that does get kind of frustrating. We're like, wait, you got all this stuff, but you know what? You gotta drive everywhere. Anyway, the sixth thing is gonna shock you when you come here are the toilets, and specifically the public toilets in the U.S. Look, I know I talk about toilets a lot on my videos, and actually one of our fans made a video of just me saying toilet, 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 in all these different places. But I'll be honest, when you come to the U.S., public toilets are free. There's tons of public toilets, and restaurants have them free for everybody. But the thing is, public toilets in the U.S. are usually kind of gross. But what I think is
That's
funny is
everywhere,
when you
man.
look at toilets in the U.S.,
That's
I get a lot
everywhere.
of friends of mine coming from around the world. They're like, oh my God, your toilet has so much water in it. And yes, the U.S. toilets do use a lot of water. Now, they're starting to get the lower water content toilets, but there are a lot there. So you're kind of like, oh my God.
What? This is how much you have? What? This is what happens to my toilet when it gets blocked and the water just comes up. Oh my days. I didn't know
Am I
that.
supposed
What
to
the
wash
fuck?
my feet in the
In the UK, in the UK, it's like around this bit. It's like just over this hole.
toilet here? Or do I go to the
fuck?
bathroom in it? It's
But the splashback, ooh, that's making me cringe. The splashback
kind
when you're
of
having...
crazy. And probably
having
another
the-
toilet thing
having
that
the
shocks
toilet.
people is when you go to a public place and they have toilets, there's so much space between the doors. Like you can literally look through the crack and see
Yeah.
who's in there doing their business,
Fuck
what
that,
business
man.
they're doing, what book they might be reading, okay? Because you can look through the side of it, and then underneath there's like this much of a gap
I would
underneath.
hate that,
so you
man.
can see, oh, are there feet there?
But to be fair, man, I don't ever shit in public toilets, man. That's not me. I have wheeze and stuff, which I wouldn't really care about that at that point. But yeah, I would never sit down and something like that. I would not feel comfortable.
Like literally you can see
No
everything.
way.
So those public toilets really are quite public when you are there, and that does kind of shock people when you are there. But what is cool is you do have the toilets all over the place. They are free everywhere around the U.S., so that is a really cool thing. So we've moved from the sunny coasts of Florida to the sunny coast or banks of the muddy Mississippi River.
Bro, he's everywhere.
And the next shock we have for you coming to the U.S. are the Americanisms when you come
jealous,
here.
Man.
Look,
America.
there are things that are typical USA.
USA, America. What else can I think of? What can I think of? I'm trying to think. I can't even think now. What? I've obviously just had a brain fart as I'm trying to think of ones. He's going to say them and I'm going to be like, yeah.
USA, USA. Yes, one of the Americanisms here is the patriotism in the U.S. You will see the flag flying all over the place. And the people, they love America, America. You will see that. And some of the kind of quirky things about Americans when you do come here, you will see. And just America in general. You know, I talked about the toilets. Well, one of the things about the toilets is by the toilets, you always see this kind of silver box next to it, and people are bending over at it. You're like, what's going on here? It's a water fountain, okay? We like to give away free stuff here in the U.S. Whether it's free
people water, in the comments actually told me water fountains are so, they're everywhere in the US.
Or free bread at a restaurant, or go to a Mexican restaurant, you have chips and salsas until you vomit, and you don't have to pay for it. I mean, there's so many Americanism little things when you're here with the flag. How much we love it? You'll have American flag t-shirts. Heck, you can have American flag undies. Okay? You know, we joke about, oh, Americans and their fast food. Well, literally, there is fast food all over the place. And yes, we do have McDonald's everywhere, but we've got more than McDonald's. You've got Culver's in the Midwest. You've got In-N-Out Burger on the West Coast, Whataburger in Texas, Shake Shack in New York. And you have all these fast food places all over the place with their super huge drinks. The large holds 1 liter. I believe that's what people call liters, okay? And, and liters. Well, there's a whole thing right there that Americans don't get. Do you know the only way Americans know the metric system is because of our soda? This is a 2 liter of Pepsi, this is a 2 liter of Coke, and you know what? That's how we know liters here. It's by our soda sizes, okay? Otherwise, we use...
Bro, he's shook everywhere. I would not want to be there opening that, bro. That's going everywhere,
gallons,
man.
We use feet, we use inches, we use miles. That's how they do it here, and a lot of tourists have a hard...
I use miles. I use feet. I use foot or feet, whatever. I don't use gallons, I use litres. See, that's what I use, a mixture of the two. When you think about it. Like, miles is what I know. Feet is what I know, or foot is what I know. Like,
hard time with that.
That is kind of weird.
They're trying to figure out, well, how much is a gallon?
A
gallon is about 4 liters, just so you know. Okay, it's like 2 of these out there. Oh, in the U.S., how you get great quantity discounts. See this Coke? This was $1. See this Pepsi? This was $1 at Walmart. Love you, Walmart.
Goddamn.
And let's not forget about the Walmarts out there.
$1
24-hour shopping. Think about it. Yesterday, my oldest son, spilled ketchup all over himself, crashed his skateboard and ripped up all his clothes, and so he really had nothing left for today. So guess what I did at 2 o'clock this morning? I went to Walmart and got some Coke and Pepsi, and I got him clothes at 2 a.m. And we love it when we come here, and that's why tourists love it when they come here. From the friendly people to the 24-hour shopping to the...
Walmarts are open at 2 a.m.
Cheap soda. Hey, I know you can drive those 20 hours from Florida to Illinois if you have a couple of these with you. Woo-hoo, go a little crazy.
He's gone.
That's the thing is, there are these really fun Americanisms when you do come here, and that's one of the things. All you watching, if you have those funny Americanisms, please put in the comment section below, because we're going to make more videos on funny little American things when you are here. But anyway, I guess I'll go into the next kind of shocking thing when you come to the U.S. And our 8th shocking thing, we're going to go back to that metric system that we only understand. the soda, it goes into the driving. Okay, here in the U.S., people get shocked about the driving, and I know I talked about how there's a lack of public transport and you have to drive when you are here, but when you do drive when you're here, you will be shocked how big the roads are, how big the cars are. Oh, and also, they're all automatic, okay? If you can find a stick shift, good luck. And yes, you do miles per hour here, not kilometers per hour, miles.
Same in the UK, so that's the same in the UK as well. So there is actually a lot of similar things.
And the speed limits, they change all over the place, and you never know when. It's like, oh, it just changed, and the cops get you. Oh, there's a shocking thing. You know, some countries, they just have the camera that takes pictures when you're going too fast. We have that some places in the U.S., but most of the time, you have the cops sitting on the side of the road with their radar guns
wow.
watching you. Now, oh, you've gone too fast. And the sirens come on and they drive down and pull you over.
I've seen that out
It
The
is quite
Simpsons
the
and stuff.
American experience to be pulled over for speeding, so don't speed when you're here. And there are some other little things that are different. Here in the US, you can take a right turn on a red light. So if you're sitting there and you can take a right and you got your blinker on and people are honking at you, it's because they want you to take a right. Now make sure you look to make sure no the traffic is coming, but you can take a right on red. And the thing is, we Americans love our cars. I mean, it's the most liberating thing when you're 16 years old, 16 years old, you can get your driver's license here. And so you get your 16 license to drive, license to live, oh yeah. And that's part of the US culture. We eat in our cars, we drink in our cars. Soda, don't drink and drive. The cops will throw you in jail. They don't care what country you're from. You will go to jail. Don't drink and drive, but drink your liters of Coke and Pepsi. And so the ninth thing that's going to shock you when you come here to the U.S. Oh, we're here in Boston, kind of the heart of history of the U.S. and the American Revolution. And the ninth thing that's going to shock you when you come to the U.S. is you will see a lot of homogeneity, i.e. that means like everything's kind of very similar everywhere you go, but also you will see definite different cultures and culture and history in the U.S. We get tons of comments saying, oh, the U.S., there's no culture there, it's just McDonald's, and there's no history there, it's too young. No, there is history and there is culture here, but on the other side of it, there is a lot of homogeneity. So when you go travel around, you see the same stores. You'll see, oh look, there's an Old Navy, oh look, there's a Sephora, and you'll see the same stores again and again. And it gets kind of repetitive, especially when you're going into the suburbs and kind of the newer cities and newer towns. It really looks like, I mean, I can't tell the difference between going to one city in one part of the country versus another when you're doing that shopping experience or hotels and things like that. So it does get kind of shocking when you're like, what town am I in? It seems the same. But having said that, there are distinct cultures and regions here in the U.S. and that does shock people because you come here to the Northeast, to New England, they have definite different food. You gotta have the clam chowder and they have the what they call the the New England Shield, where they don't really talk to the people, but they're friendly once you get to know them. Or you got the South, where you got that Southern hospitality.
The New England Shield, that's got a bit of England to it, you know what I mean? Britain's the same, man. I can't even lie.
Feed you for days,
Our
and give you
ancestors
tons
are
of
keeping
food
it
and ask
strong.
you how you're doing and all kinds of stuff. Or you got kind of like the cool, kooky West Coast that's out there. There's definitely different cultures here in the U.S. and it does shock people when they drive around and realize, yes, a lot of the stuff looks the same, but the people are different in different parts of the country. So just know that, yes, this homogeneity will shock you, but there are different cultures out there because, yes, there is fantastic history here in Boston and great museums around the U.S. The Getty in L.A., the Art Institute of Chicago, the Met in New York. I mean, you can have great history, you can have great art, you can have great culture when you are here because this is a big melting pot of the world. And the 10th thing that's going to shock you when you come to the U.S. are the hotels. Look, you can actually get a good medium priced or even lower priced hotel here in the U.S. There are tons of hotel chains here, Hampton Inns and Holiday Inns and all these kind of places.
Holiday Inns in the US as well? What? I thought Holiday Inn was just a UK chain.
And it's very standardized, okay? If you get a double room, you can probably put 4 people in there or 40 people in there because the rooms are a lot bigger. When you get 2 double beds, you get a double room, it'll have 2 beds. I.e. 2 big beds. There's no 2 single beds pushed together like in Europe. So you have all this extra space when you are there. Now, one of the things that kind of shocks people when they go do the hotels here in the U.S. is it's kind of like the relatively cheaper the hotel is, the more stuff they give you. You go to a cheap chain hotel or a medium price chain hotel like a Hampton Inn or something like that, and you get free Wi-Fi, you get a free breakfast, like as much breakfast as you want. They're gonna have a pool, all kinds of really cool stuff. No resort fees, oh my God. And then if you go to like an expensive, nice hotel, breakfast, oh no, you get to pay for that. Oh, you want internet? Oh, that's $19 a day. You're like, what? Oh, the pool? Oh, if you want to use the pool and do the fun stuff, you need to do the resort fees and pay extra. You're like, wait, I'm paying triple the price for a nice hotel and I actually get less amenities when I go there. It kind of boggles your mind. Weird. So when you come here, just know that you can actually stay in some of these chain hotels and it's not a problem whatsoever, okay? Read the reviews about them, but if you get a one...
Wait, what? Many hotels in the US do not have a 13th floor. 13 is considered bad luck. See, that's the same here. But does that mean the 13th floor is just left unoccupied? Or does it just sort of skip to the 14th floor? Because if it's just left unoccupied, that's crazy. But I'm sure that wouldn't be, like, financially, that wouldn't make sense. So I guess they just sort of skipped the 13th floor. And the 14th floor is obviously where the 13th floor would be, but it's called the 14th floor. That's what I'm going to guess.
Whatsoever. Okay, read the reviews about them, but if you get a one Holiday Inn Express, it's pretty much the same throughout the country.
Ice machines
Remember
got down.
that homogeneity of number 9? That really does come out in the hotels. But they are clean, they are safe, and there is a lot of price options out there. So just know, if you want a lot of the free stuff, actually you go to the cheaper ones versus the more expensive ones who have better locations and kind of cooler rooms maybe, but make you pay for a lot of things. So it's kind of shocking that, wait, I get less for more or more for less? Yes, I know, the US with our stuff, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, those are
Another interesting video. I love seeing these sort of ones, man. I just find it so interesting seeing things that I'll obviously see in person one day, but just the differences and just mini cultural things that, again, you learn about. Let's see some of the comments. Like 0.1% of Americans eat spray cheese on a regular basis. Don't sell us short of the metric system. We use it all the time when it comes to drugs. I feel bad for any European that thinks they can go on expeditions in New York, Florida, and California in the same day while traveling in a car. Me, a born American who has lived here my whole life. I'm honestly shocked that foreigners think we're so friendly and nice. I genuinely assume people would just like that in most places. Nah, man. UK, no one's chatting to you. And I kind of like it, but at the same time, it would be nice to sort of go somewhere and sort of people go out their way to sort of talk to you or just whatever it is. It would be an interesting cultural difference. People from the USA are extremely nice, yeah, until you get on the roads. That's everywhere, man. People hate it on the roads. This guy makes me an American want to travel to America. Who else here is from Earth watching this? 90% of the people watching this are American. Every state is different. Every state is like its own country. Every state has its own history, its own culture. Another cultural shock is Americans drink everything with ice. Why does this video just make me more patriotic? When watching this video, America, Texas is the biggest buyers of our own souvenirs. Really? Texans are the biggest buyers of their own souvenirs. That's incredible. That makes me laugh, man. That's just, you can't get more Texans than that. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy this one. Again, if you want more reactions from this channel, let me know what you want to see. And I mean, yeah, until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.